Look at this fucking Svachim over here. We're in a cap in a nice restaurant like this. Take your hat off.
Excuse me?
They don't sell hot dogs here. They took the bleachers out 2 years ago.
It's my hat. I'll wear it where I want.
How you doing?
The more things change, the more they never seem to change. Another week passes us by in the LCS, and impressions about where the teams stack up continue to be solidified. And each week we must take a deeper inhale of the copium as we prepared our gaping anuses for the destruction that is to come when these teams hit the international stage. God damn it.
Feel the power of the wild.
Any week that you guys win a game is a week in which you pray fans forget how much of a massive pile of stinking refuse you are. A victory over CLG does nothing to wash the stench from our nostrils, particularly after the baffling decision made late this week. Adding Licorice, a veteran player who is already looking shaky for the first time he's left the confines of Cloud9, especially when your season is already over, is a head-scratching move. The team that actually got rid of Licorice, FlyQuest, isn't missing a beat when it comes to making head-scratchers themselves. Following an 0-3 week, FlyQuest announced that they would be flip-flopping their Academy and LCS rosters. This means more stage time for players like Tomo, but it also gives a fresh look to players we've already seen before like NXI, Kumo, and Diamond. There's no one we're going to see in the LCS this week that looks to be an up-and-coming talent, so somehow FlyQuest has made their team even less interesting than before. Somehow this team is going to sneak into the playoffs. I know it, I can feel it in my bones, and I'm going to puke having to watch them get stomped into oblivion for 3 games. It's honestly a crime that I have to rate the team that lost to Golden Guardians as being a potential playoff team, but this is the league that we're in, and somehow this is the quandary you've put me in, CLG. You'll lose to FlyQuest and Dignitas this weekend, and I might cry.
Quest accepted! Wait, where are we going?
How do you manage to beat TSM and lose to Immortals in the same weekend? This sort of inconsistency should be illegal, Dignitas. You're still comfortably in a playoff spot, but please give me one reason to have any optimism that this team won't shit the bed come playoff time. Neo and Fake God played well this weekend, but they aren't top 3 in their positions even on the best days. Just like FlyQuest, there's no excitement watching this team, and unfortunately it seems like we're going to have to watch them quite a bit longer.
Nothing can hold me back.
It truly is that win over Dignitas that keeps IMT from falling out of the top 6. This weekend proved definitively that they cannot hang with the big boys atop the standings. And there's nothing really you can hang your hat on for Immortals. They're just another team that seems allergic to drilling down and identifying their own style. Maybe make things interesting against TL and EG next week, guys.
The black rose shall bloom once more.
It's really hard to put Team Liquid above Evil Geniuses because, again, they're not playing at full health. Are Alfari and Santorin coming back? Who the fuck knows? I do know that their rating would be higher if I or anyone on God's green earth knew if or when that is going to happen. Just like IMT, this weekend was full proof that Team Liquid cannot stack up against the big boys without their full roster. Maybe if they get the playoff buff against TSM again, they can go far with this iteration, but even that might be asking too much. Time's ticking, Team Liquid.
The heart is the strongest muscle.
You can only play the teams that are on your schedule, and this week EG dispatched of 3 bottom dwellers to take a 3-0 weekend to the bank. With a 5-game winning streak, they're just a single game behind TL in the standings. Stop me if you've heard this before, but EG's biggest problem is consistency from their solo laners. Impact went 6-2-11 on Akali one day after accounting for 7 of his team's 16 deaths. Jizuke goes deathless on Lucian before giving up 7 the next day on Lee Sin. If these two can iron out their consistency issues, this team could actually be formidable. But as the weeks pass, that looks like a bigger and bigger if.
Fear the assassin with no master.
What do I have to do to put you in the top 2, C9? After securing a big-time win over Team Liquid, you flopped the very next game to the team you could have overtaken in TSM? The only player who had a solid overall week was Sven, which is not saying great things considering he was in Academy just a few weeks ago. Perkz and Blabber just continue to look massively lost. Fudge is still ironing out the kinks, and Vulcan looks like he's taken a step back. Come on guys, don't bonk out again.
Are you the hunter or the prey?
Once again, a team that deserves to be rated far lower than their level remains a top 2 team because every other LCS team can't get their shit together. Losing to the husk of a team that is Dignitas should have been grounds to drop them below C9 and EG, but they managed to take down C9 later that weekend. Sorta may name himself the second best support in the LCS given his recent interview, but it's hard to see this team as being anything other than the first mate of a ship that's sinking and on fire.
No more cages.
Speaking of which, the captains of the ships themselves, 100 Thieves, just continue to be the last puffs of hopium LCS teams may have when it comes to Worlds. Easy wins for them this weekend, save for the Team Liquid game, but they took care of business. They weren't really even challenged save for that Team Liquid game, which is a bit of a cause for concern. This week they'll have a chance to create even more space between themselves and the rest of the pack with a light schedule capped with a bout against TSM. I have all the faith in the world another 3-0 is in the cards. The only question that's left is whether or not Upcomer is going to put them in the top 10 again. Rank 100 Thieves, you cowards!